All right, YouTube says we're live,
Oh,
and
not ready yet, Brian.
you have to be ready because the world can see you.
This is
The
so
world can see you.
awkward. Wait, I'm not done with the tweet. I'm sending the tweet.
You're twittering.
I'm twittering. Yeah, for the sake of this live stream, I am. So people
Well,
know on
it's
my
good because
side.
nobody would watch otherwise. That's why I put your face in the thumbnail.
Are you? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm siphoning off all of your viewers. I have.
No, not that. No, it's totally different. I'm not
Oh,
even. I don't even care that you're doing that. No.
oh,
So
okay,
so I'm talking about your hoodie. Um,
bro. Are you
I,
serious?
I want to know how much NCXT paid you to wear that in this live stream.
Didn't they make you this sweet offer?
I'll tell
Because
you. I'll tell you what. No, see, they gave it to me, but I ain't no shill, so I don't flex like that in
I
my
will tell
own
you one
private
thing.
live stream.
I will tell you one thing. In my life, in my many years on this planet, I have learned that there is no shame in being a shill. And if somebody offers you money, you should just take it. So that is what I'm doing.
So I'm shilling for my own company.
Uh,
My company's
yeah,
paying me fat stacks to wear this shirt. I tell you what.
yeah. Well, I actually have a surprise for you that we didn't talk about prior to the live stream.
Oh, I knew you were gonna throw some BS
This is a
curveball at me right
surprise.
in the middle of the stream.
Surprise. So, for all of my viewers out there who want to invest in some BPS Customs merchandise, we're running a special deal today with promo code NOINFINITY for 10% off all of your merchandise through the BPS Customs store. bpscustoms.com, promo code NOINFINITY. I'm
You
going
want
to
to
paste.
provide some context for?
Oh, it's because I don't like your car, and
Oh,
and
I'd be scared of it too if I owned a BMW.
yeah, I don't know about that.
I'd be real scared of it.
Promo code NOINFINITY, 10% off today only during
Only
the live
10%
stream.
off.
Well, I mean that's really all you're worth. So
In all honesty, do you make money on like any of your merch? Like, do you have like
let let me tell
any
you,
margin at all?
of anything that I do for the channel, like any part of the channel that I put some serious effort into, I make absolutely the least amount of money on merchandise.
Yeah, same.
Like, it's not that I don't sell some, like it sells, but like I don't have my margins jacked all the way up. Like if somebody buys a shirt, I make like $1 or something.
Yeah, same. I
So
literally dropped it to where I'm not losing money per sale, but I'm literally making like a quarter a sale. Like it's really, especially for the t-shirts. The sweatshirts are a little more, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because they're a higher price to begin with, I guess.
Right.
But I
Right.
mean so I have my stuff through the YouTube whatever Teespring, and they
Teespring.
have the all over hoodie, the one that I sent you, the one that's like all different colors and stuff.
Mhm.
The cost on those is like enormous. Like I was like this is the lowest that I could make this. Like I
Those are
can't.
really custom. I mean, they're not like regular like cheap Walmart hoodies. Like they have a
Yeah,
lot of stuff, intricate like stitching and stuff in them. Like it's definitely premium feeling. But
yeah,
like,
I like it a lot, but it's not cheap. Like
yeah,
I can't really even make it cheap. So but hey, I think we got like a bunch of people in here checking us out. I just wanted to say what's up to everybody out there. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Monday night. We got Greg here from what do you call it again? Salazar Science something Studios.
I
Great,
swear to God.
great, Greg Studios. What do you
knew
know?
you were gonna say that. There's a lot of background and context to why I did what I did for the third time. But this is just think of it like stages of a butterfly's transformation through time, right? He starts off
Well,
as what do butterflies for the worms, right? It
when
starts
I
with
when I
worms.
think of you, I do think of butterflies.
You
So
know.
yeah,
Oh, you,
like a
you get,
like a like a delicate little creature that flies around
oh well, that's better
and
than being
like
a worm. That's what I was gonna
a
start with.
worm. Oh, you are. Oh yeah, no, you do make you. I will give you that. You started as a worm. Now you are a delicate creature. Congratulations, sir.
I would much rather be that. I will say that I have made many changes internally that many people are not aware of, and throughout those changes, I've decided that a rebrand to something more general that still encompasses what I do and myself. I mean, it's my name now,
Right.
but that gives me more creative freedom. It gives me a bit more leverage when I'm trying to figure out how to approach videos from a unique angle. Because if I'm just going to be called Science Studio, well, it better be super heavy duty scientific, and that's it. And if I
Yeah.
venture out of that, small narrow field, then it comes across as I don't know. I don't want to say not authentic, but it just doesn't gel well with the channel name. When people see that title right below the video that they're watching, it
Yeah.
better have some similarities.
I get it. I actually, when I chose, so my channel when it first started out was named something completely different, and it's been BPS Customs for a long time now.
Wait, what was the
And
original channel
it
name?
was originally it was S Tech TV, and the reason
Oh,
that, do you remember that? Did I
was
tell,
that
did I know you back then?
that was ESS Tech, right?
ESS Tech, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why was
And
it called that?
so, for an embarrassing reason, to be honest. So I was trying to come up with some kind of like catchy name for the channel that involved TV, because that was kind of like back when made the channel. A lot of tech channels were something something TV,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Kyle was Awesome Sauce Network, stuff like that, right? So I was like, all right, it's got to be something TV. I'm like, what's something that's tech involved? And ESS, just pronounced S, was supposed to be. I was originally going to just name it S for Stro for my last name. And I was like, no, let me stylize it. So I did ESS, and then after maybe like a year or something, I was like, this is really dumb. I'm like, I gotta change this because like the business was never named S Tech. Like my business when I used to build custom computers was BPS Customs. Like that was the business.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like, why am I even trying to be something that the business is not, like, how nobody else knows me that way, you
It's
know?
good that you changed
So
it early, though. Like, at my point, after doing this what 5 years or so about this size, it's difficult to do it, and I approached it in a way that I haven't seen many others approach it, and kind of did it under the table. And I haven't actually talked about this with anybody publicly, maybe in a few DMs and stuff with people that I know in the industry. But my goal was to completely changed the channel name, all of my social media tags, everything, uh, and kind of do it under the table and not really draw attention to it.
right,
And at first, not many people noticed. And I think what really drove people to realize that I even changed it in the first place was that, like, the one person that would say it in the comment section or something, and then everyone would see that comment and be like, wait, hold on a second, because they're not looking to see if the channel name changed. It's not why they're clicking the video.
yeah,
Or they'll get like a notification to be like Greg Salazar uploaded. Oh, who the heck is that guy? I've
yeah.
never gone by that name before. So it was an interesting kind of experiment internally, just to try to figure out if people even cared that much about it. There's
Yeah.
always going to be people who say, "Oh, I wish you could go back to your old channel name," or "Oh, I like this better," blah blah blah. But
People don't like change initially,
yeah, of
but to
course,
be honest with you,
I
like
don't
the
mind.
the reason that you cited for wanting to change it, like you wanted to maybe branch out and do different content, like that's perfectly valid. Like you don't want to be roped into doing anything in particular. And I don't think anybody does, like I've considered changing my channel name for I guess for a similar reason, but for now, I think I'll just stick with it. But I could see wanting to change it just to be able to do other stuff and not have people say, "Oh, you used to be Greg Computers and you're not doing computers anymore," right? Like that just seems like why pigeonhole yourself if you don't have to?
Yeah, and it's not
So
like every video that I did was even that. Like, we certainly have videos on the channel that I would regard as like deep dive scientific videos.
yeah,
And the problem with those videos is that with the amount of effort that I put into those, I didn't get the outcome that I expected, viewership wise, engagement wise. It just never really made sense to me to put all that work into a video that was going to get maybe 10, 20,000 views, when I
yeah,
could pump out a build video or a crazy experiment video and get 100,000 plus views on it. So if
yeah,
I'm looking at just like the business itself, kind of exceeding my expectations in ways, I can't limit myself to the content that's just not as desirable. And there are people that love that content, but they're a vocal minority, to be frank.
yeah,
And if the public really wanted to see it, there would be more viewership there. So
yeah.
that was a huge push. Like, if it doesn't work, you gotta try other things. So
Well, that's when you moved away from that kind of content is when your channel really started to grow like ridiculously. So, I mean, you made the right move, at least a couple years ago when you had that big subscriber bump. I
yeah,
remember seeing when you were doing those science videos, you were what 100,000,
yeah,
something
that's
like
around
that,
there.
and then like
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're up at like 400,000. So I mean, you made the right
Yeah.
move, and it's worked out for you. But I mean, maybe at some point I'll do something similar. I'm not sure. We'll see.
You're in that growth, like you're in the growth phase where it's like anything you do really, unless you do something super stupid, which knowing you, Brian, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh
You
no,
will
it's coming. It's
probably,
for sure.
no matter what you do from here on out, you will grow. Like
Yeah.
you know, again, like the weird crap that you might do aside, anything that you do to contribute to the growth of your channel inadvertently will still allow it to grow. It's kind of
Yeah.
redundant what I just said, but you know, so you could change your name. You could probably change your name 10 different times. At the end of the day, people click on your content because they you know, they want to see you, they want to see your opinions, they want to you know, feel like it's more of a personal relationship, you just being straight with them, and that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, a name's a name, and
Yeah.
unless they have a lot of merch or something, or it's like the old school names on the merch, and then it's like, okay, well, this is virtually useless now.
Yeah.
That could
People
be
get
the
angry, but
only.
then it's vintage, man. Then
That's
you get they need the vintage. The vintage market opens up. You know, you get the whole eBay category, vintage Greg Salazar merchandise. You're golden, man.
Dude, speaking of
Resell.
vintage, I went back. I was on eBay today looking at some old vinyl records that
Mm.
were signed by some of my favorite like classic rock bands and stuff.
Hmm.
I bought my dad a. I don't think he'll be watching this stream, so but I bought him a. His favorite band is Iron Maiden. No, it's probably tied between Iron Maiden and Pink Floyd, and he saw them a ton in concert when he was in his 20s and 30s, and he has, you know, they have, that band has tons of albums. I found him one of their albums with 4 of the 5 band member signatures on it, and I placed a bid and I won it. So then I got
That's
addicted to it, and I
awesome.
was like, well, heck, I bought him one. I'm gonna freaking buy me one. Then I bought like 2 or 3 more that were a lot cheaper than his, but that I could also. I have one that's from a current band star set in the other room, but I wanted to start collecting them every now and then. I just
That's
thought it was
cool.
fun to go through some
Yeah.
classics. You
You
know?
like you could even like even if you're not going to play that, you could frame it. It's a cool
Oh,
collectible.
that's what I did.
You
I
know.
hung it up on the wall. I'll never play those albums. Like, I just,
Yeah.
why would I do that if I could just listen to them on
Yeah.
YouTube?
Yeah. It's easier.
I just frame them up, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
So I did wanted to just quickly just let you guys know what we're planning on doing here. I clearly we've just been bullshitting a little bit, which is great. But I did want to just we had one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I let Greg know ahead of time, which is the title of this video, which is "Stop Upgrading Your PC."
Wait, that's what we're talking about?
That is what we're talking about. I think you're. Hold on. You got. Yeah. Well, folks.
I'm
No,
joking.
you could leave. Actually, the stream might be better that way if you just go.
Oh, is that how it's gonna be? Huh? Okay.
So no, we did want to talk about that, but I wanted to also like obviously take you guys' questions because it's not often that you guys get to interact with both of us at the same time. So hopefully, are you going to LTX? Have you talked to Colton yet about that?
Yep, I will be there again. In
Excellent.
August this year, right? I think they moved
It
it
isn't.
to summer.
It's in August. So if you guys want a chance to come out and hang out with us, I mean, I saw plenty of people at CES that were like, "Hey, Brian, what's up?" Oh, my light went off. Oh, jeez. This is what I was saying. I didn't want my battery to die. Hold on, let me
I
change
can't even
batteries.
tell. I mean, to me, I know I'm looking at you through the webcam, but I
Yeah.
can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, it looks a lot better with the there. That's bright.
Pardon the interruption. Brian's got to make himself look pretty on the stream.
How does this look? Am I better now?
That is about as sexy as you can get, Brian, and that's saying something.
It is because. So anyway, so at CES, all right, wait. Let me rewind. Let me say what I wanted to say. Then I want to get into LTX really briefly. So what I want to do is just I want to cover that one topic and then take some people's questions. And so guys out there, I know you're firing away in chat, and we will get to some of these questions. I promise. Super chats are open as well, which I promised Greg that I would share with him. Not at all. So
Yeah, I was gonna say we did. I'm not. I
So-
just realized I'm not even subscribed. Oh wait, am I subscribed to you? I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not.
Are you really not?
I don't think.
What
I
a
am.
dick.
I'm
What a
not
dick.
I'm not subscribed.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Uh,
This is turning out real well. So okay. So what we're gonna do is we'll take a few questions from you guys in a little bit, but I just did want to go through first of all LTX. So when we're at at CES, like I'm sure you probably experience the same thing. Like
Mm.
you're just walking around, that's where people are gonna recognize you, right? Like
Yeah. Oh
people are
yeah,
like,
dude.
hey, Greg, what's
It
up?
was the
Hey, Brian, what's up?
coolest. It was the
Yeah,
coolest experience
it's
ever, man.
awesome, but the problem is not at LTX. I'm talking about at CES.
Oh yeah, I had maybe like
So
two
people,
people stop me. I'm like,
oh
I'm on the
really?
go all the time. Like
Yeah,
I didn't have anyone stop me with the exception of maybe like two people, and that was when we were like standing in suites, like walking
yeah,
around,
yeah.
kind of had free time. So
The problem is like at CES, like you're gonna get recognized. That's the spot where a lot of people are that might know who you are.
oh,
But
you
you
mean the
don't. But
show
you
floor,
but you don't
right? The
have
show
time.
floor.
The show floor or
Oh
walking around, like you don't have time, right? You can't like
yeah, yeah.
stop and say hello to people. Maybe you have 30 seconds to like say, hey, thank you for watching or whatever. But like you're running between meetings, like you got no time to do that. If you guys are interested at all in like coming and meeting some of your favorite creators, LTX is like the place to do it. That's why we're there. We're there for you guys. We're there to meet
Mm.
you, talk to you, answer any questions you have. And there's going to be this year looks like massive. Like I can't. They're already starting to book people, and it's going to be great. I was supposed to go last year. I couldn't make it last year, and I really regret it. But this year I will be there. You'll be there.
Let's see. I
I,
want to see who else is gonna be there. Because I know they have a page that shows all the
yep.
creators. I'm
I
trying to
know.
see what
Like
that is.
well,
Oh,
obviously.
special guest. There it is.
Yep.
Sorry, what'd you say?
No, go ahead. Read them off.
Okay. Tech Tangents. I don't know who that
I don't know who that is. They're
is.
inviting like some smaller channels
Which
too,
is great. No,
which
that's
is
good.
great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And that's that's one of the ways that one of the reasons why I like LTX so much is because especially for the smaller guys, like it is a chance to expose yourself to so many fans who share common interest.
You're
And
phrasing there, buddy. Phrasy. I don't know if you really want to be exposing yourself. And,
okay, maybe not the best word choice,
mm-hmm.
but you're
Mm-hmm.
in a group, you're in a huge place with everyone who has common interests,
Right.
and that is something that I would have killed for in my earlier YouTube years, like when I had 50 to 100,000 subs. Like I would have loved to have been there, just to be around people who inspired me, people that I watched on YouTube all the time. I don't do as much of it now just because I'm kind of doing the same thing, and it feels like repetitive in a way and redundant to watch other people do similar because I can relate totally to what they're doing, and it's like
Yeah.
reminding me of work and stuff. But yeah, every now and then there's a video or two from creators that I'll watch, and I'm like, man, this is why I do what I do, because they can create stuff like this, and I know that I can, if I try hard enough, can make stuff that's just as crazy and cool and interesting. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, let's see. There's this guy called BPS. I don't know I don't know who the hell
It's
invites
this
guys
guy.
like BPS custom.
It's
I don't know.
it's this guy. I'll be there.
there, there is Low Spec Gamer. He was there last year. We were on the used versus new panel with him.
Uh-huh.
Ant Venom. I don't
Okay.
know. I feel like
It's
I've heard of it.
I thought that was a mining channel or something.
Probably. Actually, I think I've got an email from them at some point. Austin Evans is going to be there. If you don't know Austin, probably living under a rock.
Yep.
Real Hardware Reviews, Bad Seed Tech, Dawi does tech stuff, Jay's 2 Cents, Gamers Nexus, Sarah Dici. I remember I said her name right.
Yep.
Like,
Rhymes are peachy.
Shellback Tech, and Shellback does the VA
The charity.
veteran builds. Yeah.
Yep.
For
The
charity,
disabled veterans build. Yep.
Epos Vox is going to be there again. This guy named Greg. I don't know who the hell he is. David Immel. David, and is he Android Authority? Android.
I think so. I think
think
so.
he
Yeah.
is. And he's really cool. I met him for the first time last year at LTX. He's an awesome guy. And then of course Bitwit and Strange Parts again. So
And I think they're still booking people. Like that's not
yeah.
all. So their budget for bringing in creators this year is enormous, and they realize that is the draw there. So if I know it's in Vancouver, it's not accessible for everybody, but if you guys ever wanted to meet your favorite creators, they're all going to be there. Like if you could get there, I would get there. It's going to be a great time, and it's at DreamHack too, right? So
yep.
there's going to be LAN party. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff to do. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
Should be awesome. Yeah, I loved it last year. You didn't go last year, did you?
No, I was. Yeah, no, I was. So I was. was talking to Colton about going, and then something else came up, like family thing,
Huh.
so I could not go. But like I said, I regretted it. Like I really wanted to go, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that I'm going this year.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, dude, hey, we need to how long are you gonna stay this year? I think last year I stayed only for 3 days, and I kind of regretted going back as quick as I did because a lot of the guys were hanging out after and stuff, and
oh really?
I was like, yep, I gotta get back on my plane, fly across the continent again.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to stay an extra day or two, I think, just to kind of just hang out and
Yeah, I mean, like it's a good time to like get some collabs going, or just hang out and whatever, go to dinner or something. So, I
yeah,
mean, we'll talk about it. I'm not sure exactly what my schedule is going to be. I mean, it is in August, right? You know, I don't have any of the tickets or anything yet.
yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll talk about it. But it's going to be a blast. So, if you guys can get there, try to get there, and we will see you there. I will sign any part of your body you want me to.
People they're gonna cap that and they're gonna play it for you. Jesus.
I will sign any part of Greg's body you want me to.
In before indecent exposure. Yeah, wait, what? Are you gonna sign what?
I was
My
just checking.
body is a canvas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That away. Oh my god, you're gonna get demonetized.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time. But I did really want to talk about about the topic of this video that I wanted I don't know, what I titled it, stop upgrading your PC.
Yeah,
And
stop.
stop. Everybody stop.
Jesus.
Not all together. Probably should still. Some people probably still should. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because I did a video a week or two ago where I revisited like a dream system or a high end system from 2015. It was a 6700K and a 980 Ti system, and it was still functioning really well. You know, like it seems like everybody kind of gets caught up in this consumerism and the need to have the newest and latest thing and like really get caught up in marketing. Like it seems like marketing is really doing its job. Like, you know, you talk to people like, oh, do I need to upgrade this? Should I buy this processor or this graphics card? Or do I need 64 gigs of memory? And for the vast majority of people, you don't. Like, you don't need that. Like, most people are not doing something where they need to upgrade constantly. They don't need the latest thing. And I know that it's funny because what you and I do as tech reviewers is to look at the latest thing, is to review the latest product and the hottest thing out there, right?
Yep.
So we're kind of acting as conduits for these marketing departments, and it's almost...
yeah, that's why they call us influencers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that term, but it's actually true. I mean, even if we give a product a negative review, the fact is that product is now exposed
Right.
online through our outlet, and there are going to be dissenting opinions everywhere, but at the end of the day, there are opinions on both sides. So even
Yeah.
if you present valid points and the cons outweigh the pros, someone else might be willing to look past some of those and still buy it. And thus we influence that sale, even though our review is generally negative.
Yeah.
We still helped said company. And that's kind of a byproduct of being a public media outlet, is no matter what we do, anything that we show or talk about is going to receive that publicity inherently. And they eat it up. I don't blame them. I would do
Yeah.
it too. If I was selling a product, like anything, if I made coolers, I wouldn't spend any money on any social media advertising apart from YouTube. I would say, hey, how much do you want to have this part sponsored in the next build or whatever? Or how much for a pre-roll? Like, I would be the guy pushing through YouTubers because I know how powerful I see it. Like, I see it in my own channel. And
Yeah.
I almost, to an extent, wish it wasn't that way, because it puts a lot more pressure on us in ways to make sure that we're evaluating things fairly and consistently, and drawing consistent opinions and conclusions. Because if I say that I hate one case and then I say that the next case I get from a different company looks great, but both cases have a lot of similarities,
like NZXT maybe.
I'll be like,
From
yeah,
this-
yeah. Okay, it's per time you say it, right? You get
Every
paid
time I say it.
every time you say
Yeah.
NGXT. I figured it
Yeah.
out. That's
Also,
smart marketing.
hold on. There's also NVIDIA graphics cards that you could put into your NZXT case. I didn't know if you guys out there knew that, but NVIDIA.
By the way, while you're installing and building your system, Cheez-Its.
I've heard Cheez-Its go great with NVIDIA graphics cards. So, but no, you are absolutely right. Like it's funny that I've been thinking about what again. Another reason why that I've been kind of going back on the should people be upgrading this frequently is because there are products out there that not only last a long time but are significantly cheaper than the flagship products, right? So not only PC parts, but like I this chair came in for review. Okay, it's a cheaper. It's one of like the Amazon no name brand chairs. It's still perfectly good. It's I'm sitting in it right now. Like it feels good. I'm gonna give it a positive review, and it doesn't have to be the best. It doesn't have to be a $600 DX Racer, Noble chairs, whatever. It doesn't have to have RGB effects on it, which some of them do now, which I don't understand.
And integrated butt coolers.
Butt coolers, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Thermal take that. Yeah, they have like ACs
You know,
in the
yeah. I
bottom.
mean, you don't need a butt cooler in your PC, and you guys should. That is what you guys should take away from this stream, because regardless of if you really want something, most people can't afford to have the latest and greatest of everything, and the constant like fervor to upgrade your system and to have the latest, it causes it could cause problems, like if you're allocating funds there where you shouldn't be, or like it's causing stress in your family because your wife says you can't buy it but you gotta have it. So like I disagree with the fundamental principle that that everybody needs the latest thing, even though marketing departments are telling you that. And I know that it's ironic considering what I do for a living, or partial for a living, but that is the reality of it. Like, you shouldn't need to always have to have the latest. Like, I think that using something for a couple of years, or buying something that's a little less expensive with the hope that, okay, yeah, in a few years then I could upgrade it. So it's probably the way to go. And I know that you do a lot of stuff with like Craigslist ads and used hardware and like things, alternatives to buying the latest and most expensive thing.
Yeah, I push a lot, especially with graphics cards. I push people to at least give the used market a chance, because a lot of times, like if a graphics card fails, it's going to be like a fan or something stupid you can replace in 2 minutes. I mean, heck, you could probably run the card with one fan if it's a 2 or 3 fan card. Don't recommend it, but if you have decent ventilation, you could probably get away with it, at least temporarily. Cards like that are pretty resilient on the PCB level, unless they're being bent heavily. Maybe they had water blocks put on them and they swapped them back for the air coolers. Every now and then you could dislodge a GPU or whatever from the board. You could overheat memory modules if you're doing crazy stuff with mining and whatever.
Yeah.
All of that is possible, but at the end of the day, the failure rates for graphics cards as a whole, I would say, is much lower than the inherent risk that you kind of pick up in sites like Reddit or on forums. Like, oh, you're buying a used card, like you better have the warranty still or whatever. Like, nah, like I have more used cards, I think, than I have new cards in that closet. Like used that I've bought personally from eBay. All of them were fine except for one, and it was a sketchy mining card that was really, really cheap. And I took a chance on it for an eBay Blitz video. But yeah, I push used hardware because I know that there's more value in it. If it actually works, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, and you save $100, $200 to go with that, which is going to give you 80-90% of the performance of a new card. That is probably going to work because it's new, right? It's backed up by a solid warranty.
Right.
People measure risk in different ways, and some people are going to be more risk averse, and that's fine. But their wallets will pay for it. At the end of the day, they're going to pay more to have that peace of mind. And I'm just not that kind of person. I some things, sure, but when it comes to PC hardware, stuff that's really easy to swap and fix and flip, to me, it's not a big deal going with something on eBay, for example, that has a great buyer protection guarantee behind it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I'm thinking that I might start to integrate that kind of focus into my product reviews. Something along the lines of, do a review, this is a good product or this is a bad product, and then, but, right? Like, this is a good product, but if you're coming from this, you don't need this. I think that kind of information might be good for people to hear every once in a while. So I don't know. I've just been thinking about that ever since I made that video, and I kind of wanted to get your take on it.
Here's a curveball for you.
Yeah.
So, I had it in my head, and I just lost
And now it's gone.
This is just I was it was like baking. When you were talking, I was like, oh, I got a good question for him. Okay, so maybe if I just keep talking. Eventually,
Would you like me to talk again about my my apparel discount? That's
this is promo
code on all BPS Customs merchandise for today only with promo code No Infinity.
I forgot.
No Infinity.
I give you that. It could be worse. Could be worse.
Well, there's a character limit, and it was worse.
It was.
It was way worse.
Oh my god!
And I had to cut it down.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, this is pretty like
it's
light,
pretty.
Honestly,
it's pretty tame.
Yeah,
pretty tame.
I expected something a bit to hit a bit harder than
that. No, it was worse, and they cut me off, and I was like, oh no! I had to think of something that fit within the character limit.
Oh,
so
man.
No Infinity it's all I could get. 10% off all BPS Customs merchandise for today only. You could make a code no BMW, or
yeah, but. I mean,
but you just know that that's not true, so you can't.
No, it's most certainly is.
You can't do that.
Oh yeah, let's wait until our turbos go out, and we'll pays more shop.
Oh, so I saw Kyle posted a video on Floatplane about his car.
Are you?
Yeah.
What happened to it?
Nothing. He did it. He like tuned it, and he put an exhaust and intake on it, and the tune gave him like 70-something horsepower, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just looking up tunes for BMWs, and I'm like, nah. Nah.
Yeah, you void the warranty.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like
that's why I haven't done it.
Replacement parts on either of our cars are not cheap, and like you do something like that, and like especially I'm like just beginning I bought the car in August, right? So it's still got 4 years on it of warranty, everything, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with any of those, of replacing anything on my own. So.
What's really funny is my car as a CPO has a longer warranty than your new car does. If that tells you anything about Japanese liability, it would be that right there. And the other thing that you should look into, I think we talked about this at some point, the BMWs, I'm pretty sure they use OBD2
flashing. They do.
Yes. Okay, so that's the same as mine. So you could get a JB4 harness, and basically what one side of like your ECU plugs into your throttle bodies, it plugs into the sensors and your turbos down below, and that's the O2 sensor. That's what tells basically your car how much boost to make, how much air to throw into the fuel mixture, and things like that. So you're changing that up. You're changing the boost levels by strapping something like a JB4 into that mix. So it takes like 5 minutes to install. And then, like in my car, I have a USB Type A port. It just plugs into my PC. The other end of that goes into the OBD2 port, which then connects into both throttle body harnesses. And I could give myself anywhere from 1 to, if I wanted to be crazy, like 6-7 extra pounds of boost. And that, just that changes a lot about my car.
Yeah.
And I'd wager, I don't know, my butt dyno's telling me around 30-40 horsepower just from that change alone. A tune would do a lot more, because then you're actually changing air-fuel mixture, air-fuel ratios, and you could do like the snap, crackle, pop tunes, or it's dumping fuel into the. My car doesn't do that on its own. I know yours.
My car does that. Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a cheesy gimmick. Anyway, I could do that if I wanted.
My wife was like, the first time my wife ever heard that, she's like, "Is your car broken?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "That is the awesome sound." And she's like, "I think it sounds broken." I'm like, "No, that's not it."
Do you? Okay, what? Once upon a time, you were in high school, right? Like
a long time ago.
Dinosaurs were okay. Yeah. So So did you guys have cars way back then?
They were just coming out.
So like Model T and shit like
that.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so your horse carriage, whatever. Did you?
Fuck you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so did you ever like modify your first car at all? Like I don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
did your parents buy your, or did you buy your car? What did you
So I
do to?
I had a I used to race a Mustang. I had a Mustang that I raced. So that was a Fox body. It was an '88. It was a giant displacement. It was a 5 liter. It's like a 5 liter natural. Like it was all motor.
That was
And
the 5 liter. That's the Coyote engine, yeah.
no, it was way before that. It was just like the Mustang 5 liter. It was like 19.
Oh,
It was an '88. So
yeah, yeah,
the Coyote didn't come around until 2014.
yeah. That was
So
the new body, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But it's
so
still the same displacement, yeah.
back then, if you wanted to change boost on a turbo, or a supercharger, you had to physically change the pulley. Like there was no like just plugging into your car and hitting a few buttons and dialing in more
You
boost.
change so you basically shrink the diameter of
Right.
the pulley retention
Right.
arm, yeah.
Yeah. So, but those were good times, man. Way back in the day, way back then. I can't
So
even.
that was a is that a I mean, well, yours was supercharged?
Mine wasn't. Mine wasn't. But
Okay,
I
was
used
gonna
to.
say,
I
that'd
had.
be
I had a.
silly.
I had a lot of friends who had blown cars, forced induction, whatever else. So, yeah. I mean, it was really interesting. My car was quick for the time, but my car now is much faster. Like it drives nicer too. So
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're just saying that. We all know it's BMW.
yeah, it's broken down on the side of the road.
I mean, that's where BMWs belong.
Yeah, that's where they
Honestly,
sit.
if I wanted to buy a car that was unreliable, it would probably be something like a Jaguar or
Yeah.
potentially an Alfa Romeo. Those are pretty notorious as well.
Yeah.
My
The,
Audi was actually probably the sketch. Like, I never had a single problem with that S5, but I always knew in the back of my head, something goes wrong, it's gonna be an engine out service, whatever. It's gonna be thousands of dollars.
That's why I got rid of mine.
Yeah, worth almost
Like-
as much as the car itself. So to me, it didn't really. It was a great car for the
I mean,
price.
you had what? Like you had a 2010?
2011.
2011. I had mine was 2009. So mine was out of warranty 2013, and I had it for a couple of years where I was like, I don't know what I would do if something goes wrong. Like
Yep.
it would, those things are so expensive to fix, and that's why I ended up trading it in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. That was actually how Brian and I don't know if people know. It's like Brian and I kind of had that. Like we had the same car, and
Yeah,
that was
at the
kinda
same
how we
car at
got
the
to
same
talking
time.
and stuff. Yeah, yeah. And then he dumped his first. He quit.
yep, I got out. I got out. But I
followed suit shortly thereafter.
I got when I went from Audi to Audi though. You changed. You went from
Oh
Audi.
yeah. Well, you went from an S5 to an A4. Like,
Yeah,
who does-
S5
who
to
does
A4,
that?
and then I was like, I need something a little quicker, and then I went out to the
I could have
BMW.
freaking told you that. I mean,
Yeah.
like, there's nothing. To me, there is no comparison. Like Quattro, arguably, I would say another decent all-wheel drive system is probably the Subaru all-wheel drive system.
Yeah,
but only because that one's pretty old too. Quattro's been around since the 80s, I think, or early 90s. It's been
it's Quattro's the best. Quattro was awesome. Like my car has X-Drive, so it's all-wheel drive, but it's biased. It's like it's rear wheel biased. It's not like true all-wheel drive. But
Well,
it does help. Like it helps in the rain. But like
Yeah.
as far as like compared to both of the Audis that I had with Quattro, it's not the same.
Well,
know?
your S5 had rear-wheel drive bias too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think
it did.
I think
Yeah.
you could send up to 50% to the front. I'm pretty sure I saw that. If you had the sport diff. Now mine did have the sport diff. I made sure of that when I bought it. But I know that that's the whole point of like the difference between four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive in a nutshell is that four-wheel drive is just straight up like all four wheels turning at the same speed. Like it's one locked.
It's a much less sophisticated system.
Yeah, it's really simple by comparison. Whereas if you have an all-wheel drive system, you probably have a center diff and it's splitting power to both axles in very intricate ways. Actually, that's probably as complicated as your transmission, to be completely like Quattro is something that is pretty darn cool when you start looking. Anyway, I know this isn't a car channel, but
people are gonna get mad at me. This should be BPS cars.
this is my plan.
I know. I know. Unsubscribe. Let me read off a couple super chats and then see if there's anybody in chat that has any other specific questions. We'll try to get to those real quick. Is that cool with you?
No, Yeah,
No.
sure,
Well,
I
it's
guess
my
so.
channel, bro.
I knew you were just. I knew it was coming.
So, Bearded Hardware. Do you know Bearded Hardware?
Yes, I do
Do you
know
know?
Bearded Hood. Yeah, absolutely.
I actually met him for the first time at CES. Um, he says, "What's up, slackers? Stopping by to say hello." Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. He did the him and Steve did the
Yeah,
3990
the overclocking.
overclocking
Yep.
yesterday.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
funny, quick story. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to share that. I'll share that story with you privately. It was a
Oh, this would be good.
I don't know if it's supposed to be public knowledge. That's all.
Okay.
Sorry to tease you guys.
Dude,
My bad. My bad.
such a dick.
I know. Hugh Wong says Brian and Greg are back. You two crazy guys, go get them. I don't know where. Did we go somewhere? We're back.
They probably see us bickering on Twitter all the time.
Oh,
probably.
we do bicker on Twitter.
Yeah, you're always talking mad trash, bro. You hurt
I
my
do
feelings
talk. I'm just such a dick. I'm so sorry.
We'll be in this tweet conversation. Like, it won't even. And like, it'll be like I'll be talking to Kyle or somebody else, and then I'll just be like, you know what, damn it, I need to bring Brian into this, and I'll just like dump like just the hottest load of garbage onto Brian and just random tweet, just pull him straight into this conversation by his legs, and just force him to take it. And sometimes I catch him. It's great. Sometimes he catches me off guard. I don't know what to say. I'll just like his tweet, and that's it.
Like today.
Yes,
Like
I'm surrendering. I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this dude you just dragged me into that. I don't even know. Like, it was Epos Vox said something about like scams about wanting people trying to buy your channels.
Yeah.
And you dragged me into that for like no reason. I don't even know.
Yeah.
What, like, I just know that you took a dump on me, but I don't know exactly what you said. I got the gist of it, and I just liked it. I was like, I surrender.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell sometimes you're like, I don't have the energy for this right now.
No, exactly. I'm just like, it's such a hard blow right up front.
Yeah.
I'm done. I can't.
But anyway, we're back, according to Hugh Wong, and we're gonna go get him now. So I don't.
Go
Yeah.
get him.
Thanks, Hugh. Thank you for the $5, Hugh. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Kyle Toon, also $5, says, I have an RX 580 and I'm looking to upgrade and start streaming. Should I get a 2060 Super for $400? No. 2070 non-super for $375? What?
Wait, what?
It says, should I get a 2060 Super $400, 2070 non-super $375, or 5700 XT? Thanks, love y'all's work.
Okay, well, what's the price for the 5700 XT?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know where Kyle lives. Maybe he lives not in the United States, but those prices are whack. So
375 for a 2060 Super.
For 2070 Super. So 375 for 2070 Super is fine.
Oh.
Like, but I don't know why that's more. I don't know why that's less expensive than the 2060 Super.
I mean, that to me answers this question right there. Like, if you wow.
So if you
Supers are $420.
No. Are they?
Dude, look on Newegg right now. 2060 Supers are $419, $419, $424, $399, $440. Dude, the Asus Strix version is freaking $450. Like,
oh my god. Maybe am I this out of touch with pricing?
No, I don't know what that is. I don't remember prices being that high for 2060 Supers. I know they had to be slightly higher than the initial 2060 because they were $350 at launch, right? But
now the 2060 is $300, or supposed to be $300.
So the Super should fall down a little bit to fill in that gap, but obviously they haven't done it. You know what it is? It's all these vendors are sitting on inventory, and they get this inventory at the rate, based on the previous MSRP. And if they take that big a cut on all those cards, then they're probably they're cutting their margins down close to zero, if not losing money, just to push inventory, which might still be a smart financial decision, just so you can set up, get off of the inventory. But
I mean, so the question is for streaming, right? So to be honest, the NVENC encoder is really good on NVIDIA cards, and that if you're specifically looking for streaming, then go NVIDIA over AMD. I wouldn't necessarily say that either of those cards is better than a 5700 XT, a 2060 Super, or a 2070 non-super. The 5700 XT is probably going to be the better card there. But if you're streaming specifically, I would probably go with the 2070 non-super for $375.
Dude, 2070 Supers are $500 $50.
Yeah,
To me,
2070
that's just like
2070 non-super is probably like a leftover from when they because they moved all their inventory over to 2070 super, right? They
hmm
discontinued the 2070. So if anybody's selling 2070 non-supers, they're probably leftovers, and so that's probably why you get them for cheap.
Ooh, Newegg has
So
refurbished RTX 2080s for $541.99.
that's pretty good.
Dude, you could probably flip those. You could like buy like five of. Someone's gonna do this, and that's just gonna be gone by the time I actually consider it. They're gonna buy like five of these or whatever the buying limit is, and then flip them on eBay. You
For
can
like
probably
a
make a
hundred,
couple hundred. Yeah, you can probably make
yeah,
a
a couple
couple hundred
$100
bucks
more.
a
Yeah,
flip. Yeah, list them for
e-
700 or
I
650.
eBay is like I eBay is my last resort when it comes to selling, just because you're dealing with PayPal fees and eBay fees.
Oh, dude, selling on eBay sucks. That's true. Yeah, you'd probably break even on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But in any event, you could do it. You could flip them for sure. Nori SS says, "When are you guys bringing your talents to South Beach?" Oh, okay. Hi, Greg. Hope the family is doing great, as well as your parents' place.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my old parents' place is my parents' old place is gone. I actually the buyers, it was just a contractor ended up buying them out because my parents had that house paid off, so they just basically wrote them a check to take over the house as it was, and it was like basically destroyed. I mean, the insurance totaled it, and they kind of kept it. Dude, it's really weird. Like I grew up from we moved there in '99 and I lived there until well arguably until I went to college, and then that was about 2013 2014. So I was there for 15 years almost, and it's just weird seeing somebody else live in that house and like change it up, because I have that house memorized to the back of my hand, and
Yeah.
it's just like a really weird thing. Anyway, they're in Orlando now, and they're doing well, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
Someone said, "Is Greg Florida man?" Dude, I get that every time I mention where I live. Oh,
Have you ever done anything that will qualify for a Florida Man headline?
okay. Well, not nothing that bad. I've been tossed out of a few venues before.
Yeah, same.
Like just like yeah. I mean, I've done some questionable. I mean, I'm only 25, right? So it might these last 4 or 5 years, at least until I got married, I was kind of a free spirit in college and stuff. I was on the books a lot, but anytime I let loose, I was just I was a good student. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, there are a few exceptions, and I have gotten kicked out of a few places. I've had like just banter arguments, things like that. I'm not somebody who backs down from certain offers, and so if somebody offers certain things,
We need to pause the stream and investigate this. We need to deep dive into
I'm
the
not
background.
talking about drugs or any of that crap. Like it's not like that kind of like if people provoke me, like I'm very responsive and direct, and I honestly challenge people who make claims
like physically or
yeah, physically, yeah. Like I used to play.
really?
I was very athletic back in the day. I played a ton of sports. I was ripped at one point.
I've seen the picture. I've
Heavy
seen
on
the picture.
testosterone. He didn't believe me. I had to show
I at CES he busted out this pic. He's got it ready to go. He's like, "You don't believe me?
do not.
Check this out. Look
I
at
do
it's
not.
my phone wallpaper."
I had to scroll
Like
way down on Instagram to get to it. I should have downloaded it though, because it's really no pull it up whenever someone asks. But they never believe me because I'm really skinny again now, and that's just when I stopped working out, I lost my body just ate through that muscle so fast, and I had to eat probably 5,000-6,000 calories a day, which is a ton for someone my size. I was force feeding myself twice, 3 times in certain times the normal caloric intake for someone at 140, 150 pounds, and it was too much. It just didn't. It wasn't worth it to me. That physique was just not sustainable. And honestly,
well, so
I felt better, but it didn't really benefit me in the long run.
So to be honest, like you're not a you're not a big person, right?
No.
So like in order to maintain that kind of muscle mass, like you said, you had to work at it like ridiculously, I would imagine.
Yep.
So I am a much larger person. If I like bulked up, it would probably be easier for me to maintain that,
I
right?
wish I had
But
that. Like, yeah, it's like it's easier to chisel a statue that
yeah,
has
yeah,
a ton
yeah.
of marble on it than it is to
I have
stick.
so much marble. I have so much marble.
I'm really glad you rolled with that
Yeah,
analogy.
yeah. No, but like, so you're not a big person, but like that's interesting to me that you're just willing to just like step up and be
Oh
like
yeah, no,
to
dude,
challenges and
even guys that were like, I knew they could kick. It's like just never back, just on principle alone. If anybody for whatever, it's not like it happened all the time. Like God, I was not like a guy that was just firing off at people. But yeah, there's like an instance or two in the gym. Like I can remember, some guy would, he'd be on this machine, like pulling cables, and I'm waiting for him, but I'm not pushing him or anything. I didn't even talk to him. But I'm on a machine next to him, just waiting for him to clear out. Well, he walks away, doesn't come back for like 5 minutes. So I get on the machine and start using it, and he walks up. He's like, "Hey, dude, I wasn't finished." I'm like, "Well, you should have told me that 5 minutes ago when you left." And he's like, "Dude, let me finish my set." I'm like, "You left for 5 minutes. I'm not going to give you this machine so that you can walk away for 5 minutes and not have it be used." I was like, "We
right.
can work together. We can cycle out, but don't tell me to leave." It's like, "Good luck." And so like, he got up into my face and threatens me, and I'm like, "Let me tell you." At this point, dude, I was ripped, like the best shape I've ever been in my life. I was ready to use it, I was like,
You
let's
wanted to. You're like, let
we'll
me de- let
settle
me
this.
let me demo this muscle for you.
Now, if I did that, someone punched me, it'd like go right through me, like it'd just be like a hole through my chest, But back then, I was a little more fiery. It was just testosterone, dude. I was young and stupid, but it was, yeah. There were things like that. I guess I'm Florida man in that sense, but
Yeah. So the end result is that you are a Florida man, and I'd like to congratulate. That's what your channel name should be. Florida man does tech.
Oh, God. Yeah, that would actually probably do really well. It's gonna be my spin-off channel. I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah,
you to
yeah. Your
patent that.
secondary channel. Yeah,
Oh, God.
Maryland guy. That doesn't exist, right? That's not the same thing.
It doesn't
I get,
sound as cool, dude. That just sounds
no, it doesn't.
cheesy. You
Yeah.
sound like one of those Tories from like the 1800s, Maryland man.
What a weird reference, man. What
I'm
a
just
weird.
everyone in Maryland wears those like fake white-haired curly wigs, right?
Well, when I'm
Very
not
special.
on video, I have to like per my but it's legally binding.
It's your
Like when you
religion, right? Like when
yeah,
you
yeah, when you move here, you have to get one of those wigs. They get as you go through the tunnel, hand them out like in the toll booths.
so it's like a cult. Like you you get
Yeah,
swatted when you
the cult of funny wigs. It sounds like a Monty Python sketch.
Yeah, that's now people from Maryland are gonna roast me alive. I'm sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
Oh man. So if anybody we're planning on streaming for about an hour. We got like I mean it's 8:54 right now, so we've been going for a little bit. If anybody else wants to get in any quick questions, we'll certainly answer them. But really appreciate you guys hanging out with us while we just talked about stupid shit.
Dude, this is your
Like,
fault. You asked me.
I know this is my fault. If you guys enjoyed this format, though, maybe we'll do this again at some point. I'm not going to commit to any kind of schedule, but
I'm gonna make Brian pay me next time.
I will. Yes, next time he will get a percentage of the super chats. I won't. I won't.
Yes.
I won't say what percentage, but it'll be a percentage for sure.
You're gonna have to like wire transfer like $2.40, and you're gonna
Yeah.
pay more just to.
I know. I know. Let me scroll back up in these chat questions and see if anything interesting came up. I missed all of them, so it might take me a minute. So I don't know if any, like I said, if anybody else has any questions, dump them right now at the bottom of the chat so I see them when they come up. But what do you got going on? What's coming up next on your channel? Any interesting videos you've been working on?
Yeah. So one of them is a very particular scam and ripoff video. It's not a PC ad, but it's related to it. It touches on a video that we referenced in the past, but we kind of deep dive into like the math behind it and stuff, without giving away specifically what it is. It's pretty interesting, and I crunched a lot of numbers to try to figure out how that system worked and how exactly they were rigging it, quote unquote. Then we have a few other videos. We have a build video coming up. It's gonna be a console killer video, but like a legit console killer. It actually looks like one. And yeah, just
What's
stuff
the?
like that.
Are you using the 3000G?
No, actually, it's gonna have discrete card. It's gonna be more expensive than a console, but it's gonna look awfully close. Like it's hard to talk about without actually
Yeah,
breaking
I
the
don't want you to
NDA
give
on
it
it.
away. Yeah, that's
But
fine.
it's the case looks really similar to a certain console.
Right.
Um, it's not like your typical Xbox or PS4
Right.
styled case, put it that way. But yeah, it's gonna be cool.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, stuff like that. What are you doing? Just gonna be bullshitting every
She's gonna be dicking
video?
around. I don't know. I just no, actually. So I got this. So this chair is getting a review. I always have my calendar like right here. I do like monthly builds, and the February monthly build is actually going to be like full custom loop,
Ooh.
which should be interesting because I've never done a monthly build with a custom loop because they generally take a while, right? But I'm going to use Gigabyte's new 2080 Waterforce, the one that comes
Okay.
pre-blocked.
Yep.
That for only it's 2080 Super with a water block for $750.
Oh,
Did
it's
you just?
not bad at all.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Usually the
that's
water blocks are an extra like $100 or so
$100,
on top.
$100 on their own.
That's
Yeah,
already kind of what they cost new, so that's
right,
not bad.
right. So I saw that at CES and I was like, hey, I have an idea for this. Can you get me one of those? And they said, yeah. So I want to do like an easy custom loop, like a
Yep.
pre-blocked card. Just have to soft tubing. Like it should be pretty easy and quick, and see how that performs.
I actually have something similar to that. It's the water blocked 5700 XT from Power
Power
Color.
color, yeah, the liquid
Yeah,
devil,
they
yeah,
sent that. I thought it was like an AIO card, but
uh
they
huh,
sent it. It was just like a block, like for a custom loop, and I'm like, oh my god! So then I
yeah,
had to source some parts for that because my Corsair gear was in another system at the time, and needless to say, I've been making them wait for several months. So it's about time I get to that. So good on you for
yeah.
bringing that up. I would have forgotten.
Yeah, I'm also doing something that I actually really looking forward to. I'm doing a, a 360 millimeter AIO shootout. I've done before, but these are all like the new AIOs. So we have like the NZXT
Yeah, see, yep.
Z73, like the Gigabyte one with the screen on it, the EK one when it comes out, the what other one? The new Corsair, the Pro XT 360. So like
Cool.
the new generation of coolers, some with the OLED screens on them. Gonna test all those. So I have a whole list of videos which I'm really pumped for. Some are I mean some are NDA'd right now, but like for the most part, it's like just I'm trying to come up with stuff that's not necessarily let's review this part. Here are the results. You should buy it. You shouldn't buy it. Like I
Mhm.
think that like that kind of stuff, while important, gets stale,
Yep.
right? So
They don't perform as well on my channel. That's why I don't do them as much. Like the
yeah,
monitor review that I just released, like an hour, like that video is a little different because the product itself is pretty unique in the way that it and just the specs of it and stuff. But most of the reviews that I upload now, like the 5600 XT video,
hmm,
dude, that got like 25,000 views. Like for a channel that supposedly has 500,000 subs, like that's pretty trash, you know? So
yeah,
like you have to do something different. Like what I should have done in hindsight is just thrown it into like a $800 build guide or a build video, and then
yeah,
benchmark that, and just kind of made it more interactive from that sense, and rather than just going through raw performance numbers and
yeah.
stuff.
People get
Yeah,
tired
you
of
have
that
to
stuff.
adapt exactly, and everyone's doing. I mean, every tech channel that's getting sent a sample feels obligated to give it a
Yeah,
dedicated review. So I go into these things now. I just tell them like, hey, you can send this if you want. You know, when they ask like, hey, we have this new product out, but I'm not going to guarantee you a review video. I can guarantee it's going to get some degree of
some
exposure in a
exposure.
video.
Yeah, you'll do something with it. It's
That's
not
the
gonna go
best
to
I
it's not
can
gonna
do.
go to waste. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna, like get it sent here and then sell it the next day on eBay. Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
It's gonna be used, you know. And it's just, I don't know, dude. Cases, man. Oh my god, I have got to cut back on
I have
case
so
intake.
I have a lot of case. I need to do a purge pretty
Yeah,
soon.
yeah, yeah. We
Uh,
do what, once a year, twice a year.
I do one twice a year,
Yeah.
so I sell them. I think
Hmm.
we talked about this, right? I
Yeah.
sell them, but like
Yeah.
$20 for
Yeah. That's what I do.
any
20
case,
bucks. Yep. Any
like
case you want.
and they're like some. I have like the Inwin 905, which is like a
Yep.
$400 case or whatever it is. You know, like any case 20. I just don't want people showing up and taking all the cases
Yeah,
for
exactly. Yeah, and that's
um
that's how you kind of deter people from doing that
yeah,
is by charging such
yeah,
a cheap but flat rate at the end
yeah.
of the day.
$20. Take any case, like limit 2 or something.
Yeah.
Per,
Yeah.
but yeah, because otherwise my basement's pretty big, and this is where I have all my stuff. But if I walk in that other room back there, it's like a wall of cases.
Mm-hmm.
So like every once in a while, I just got to get rid of them. But yeah, somebody asked, did the giveaway you're doing end yet?
Oh, not yet. That ends. I'm gonna follow up. I got to talk to Josh about exactly from the date we aired it. I think it's 2 or 3 weeks, so it's got to be at least another week. But it's in the Gleam link. If you click the Gleam link, it'll tell you how much time.
How long did you run that for?
What, the giveaway itself?
Yeah, the giveaway.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think it's like 2 to 3 weeks, so it's still going on now. But you'll be able to figure out how much longer you have to enter in the giveaway link itself. Like, it says it on the Gleam page.
Gotcha. I got a super chat that came in from Currently Kent. Love the stream. I've been looking for a 90-degree adapter for the 19-pin header.
19.
What is the 19-pin header? Are you familiar with that?
19.
What has 19? Yeah, I'm looking. You looking at your PC?
Yeah,
I'm looking at my what has 19 pins?
I was thinking it might be the 24 minus pin, like if it's an older, but that's 20.
But that's 20. Yeah.
well, technically, how many grounds are blank?
Oh, I guess there is one blank. So
maybe that's what.
But
that's
it's still. But it's.
Think of.
I'm not sure, but for those you could just use a 24 pin and just overlap it. Like, you don't have to plug in all the pins, and there's plenty of 24 pin 90-degree adapters.
Yeah,
I actually have one. You don't even, the Cooler Master one's like $15. You could buy them on Amazon for like $4. Like, yeah, they're easy. Kent said USB-C front panel is 19 pins.
Oh God, he's gonna try to wire USB-C.
Like the 3.1 front panel header is 19 pins. I didn't know that. That's new information for me. I
like just the USB-C port, right?
Yeah, the new port that's on all the So
it's a Type-C. So that's gonna be I mean, that's like super fine wiring there. I don't know if they have an adapter for it, but
I'm not sure. I am not familiar with any of them. That connection is always really sketchy for me. Like it comes out really, really easily. Like with any kind, whenever I build a system, that's the last thing I plug in, because otherwise it pops right out.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're gonna take 2 more questions and then we're gonna get out of here. How about that? You want to choose one and I'll choose one?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see.
This is going to be the most exciting part of the stream, where we both just sit here and read comments. All right, so I'm going to take one from Aroc72, who says, kind of following up on the theme of what we talked about earlier. So I presume it's worth hanging on to my RX 580 for 1080p 60 gaming for the time being.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like there's the inherent need to upgrade. It's just pressure coming from all sides. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do it. Like, if you are happy with your gaming experience and the games that you are playing are playing at a frame rate and fidelity with that card that you like, then keep it. Like, don't upgrade just to upgrade. Save your money. Like, more things will come out like in next year that you will want. So maybe you upgrade to that instead.
Pantera NP says, or asks, favorite flavor of breakfast burritos?
So, what flavor of breakfast burritos are there besides like egg and sausage?
I'm sure Taco Bell has like some abomination that classifies as like a breakfast burrito.
Have you had Taco Bell's breakfast? I've never had Taco Bell. So I can't have Taco Bell breakfast.
No. I have not.
Are you saying that Florida man doesn't eat Taco Bell breakfast?
I eat Taco Bell. I mean, when I want to be cheap, but I definitely don't eat breakfast Taco Bell. I mean, if you want like the worst experience ever on the toilet that night, go for it. But
so this is my question, though. This is my question. How do you know that? Is this from personal experience? Do you have Taco Bell toilet time?
I have primary sources who have confirmed.
Primary sources.
I have.
Should I ask Lisa?
No, not Lisa. I would never let her do that, because that's not just bad for her. That's bad for me. Okay. Like, I witnessed those things. That would. No, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I'm gonna tweet at her right now. Greg
Oh,
says.
oh no. There's no. I just can't. That's just too risky for me. I can't do it. Look, in all honesty, if I wanted one, I would have already eaten one. I don't like fast food breakfast stuff, and I don't particularly like breakfast burritos, because I think that's kind of like the antithesis of what a burrito is supposed to be, which is like a bean or a meat.
Well, let me tell you, when I was in
cheese and stuff,
what? Yeah, no, I agree with that. But like, I was in Texas for work a couple of years ago, and before I got diagnosed with celiac, which caused a whole bunch of other problems, I ate breakfast tacos. Breakfast tacos are a thing in Texas. They are delicious. Breakfast tacos are awesome. So I could see where the appeal is for that kind of food, right? But I can no longer eat it, unfortunately.
Yeah. No one can.
Like
no, I'm
some
kidding.
pulled pork with like an egg in there and like some hot sauce. It's so good.
You and your gluten-free stuff.
I'm sorry.
I give him I honestly, I give him a ton of crap for his celiac disease, and it's totally not his fault.
Yeah, while we're like out eating, it's like out at a restaurant.
I'll be like, "Hey, Brian, you gonna get that steak and fries?" he's like, "Bro, I wish I could get fries." I was like, "Brian, why do you gotta be so lame, bro? Come
I
on,
am lame.
Just do it."
Let me tell you that one of the funniest experiences though was seeing your brother out at that steakhouse in Vegas. What, like the first night we were there, we're like,
Dude,
yeah, let's get steak, and your brother's like, whoa, like, what's up with this menu? $15 for fries.
Yeah, for real. Dude, and that steak was not. Oh, by the way, I left him a review that was not favorable. That was not a great experience.
Your steak didn't look good. I am sorry about that. My steak was delicious.
Oh, of course it was. I bet you left him a lovely review. I bet you cheer, huh? Mm-hmm. I can't do it. No, that was yeah, it was not the best, but
yeah. Brian's in chat.
Oh my god, now I'm getting surrounded. Jesus, both
Brian's for life. What's up, Brian? Thanks for stopping by.
It's got to be spicy spicy chorizo.
I think he's trying to say chorizo, but
chorizo.
He spelled it like Cheerios. He spelled it like Cheerios.
He spelled it like an Australian. Maybe that's how they spell it over there.
They spell it backwards in Australia.
Oh my god. Brian, that was great. That was good. Oh.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
Oh. I'm gonna come down to Australia. I gotta visit him at some point.
Dude,
I want to take Lisa down there, and
that is one thing that we have
on the
not.
Gold Coast. Yeah,
we haven't been able to make happen as the Australia trip, but we will at some point. That
it's just so damn expensive to fly there, dude. Like, it's literally the furthest you could almost the furthest you could fly, because it's south of the hemisphere and it's on the other side of the Pacific. And for us, it's on the other side of the continent too, because you have to cross North America before you even get to the ocean.
I know. It's the same thing going. So quickly, let's hit on this. Have you booked your Computex tickets?
Heck no.
So
are you taking them chances?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I am holding off to see how this plays out, right? Like, I
might not even go, dude. Like, I haven't committed. There's one company I did commit. Thermal Grizzly up front agreed to sponsors for Computex 2020. Yeah, but I might have to talk to them again about that, because I just don't know. I don't even know if I want to go, frankly, depending on how. I mean, I know that like the mortality rate of coronavirus is not as high as SARS was.
Right.
That was something I saw on the news today, which I guess is good news in a way, but it does appear to be much more transferable and contagious than SARS. So
right, 40,000 cases, and it's picking up steam. Like, as far as it's spreading more rapidly now.
And there's a two week incubation period, so there could be way more than 40,000 people with it. They just don't know it yet, because they don't show symptoms for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and that's the scariest part. When they have that long of an incubation period, it's just it's like a ticking time bomb that you don't even know it's ticking. And when
Yeah.
you get hit with it, you get hit hard. I mean, apparently it's like a really bad flu. But people who are older have weaker immune systems, maybe
Yeah, but
autoimmune diseases. Like
not only
that's
that, but like just say even if you're a young healthy person, right, and you somehow contract it and you come back to the United States, you get quarantined.
hmm
Like they will quarantine your ass for 2 weeks.
There's a cruise
Like
ship from Japan that had
I
people.
know, I saw
Yeah,
that.
they're just stuck, dude.
They
Like
can't
that
leave
was
the rooms.
whoa. Oh
Like
my
imagine that. Like
gosh.
you go, you so. My plan was to go only for a week. Like I was gonna try to combo it with like, um, what is Brian saying? The virus thing may hold it back. So I guess he's talking about people
Mhm.
going to Computex.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
my plan was just to go for a week because I have my 9 to 5 job. So I was gonna leave like Friday, get in like Saturday or Sunday, stay for a week, leave the next Friday or Saturday or something like that, right?
Yep.
So like that is it's a week off. I took a week off from my job already, but like what if you get back and they're like, no, you gotta hang out in this quarantine for 2 weeks?
Yeah, because
Like
you went
what?
well. Yeah, I mean, what's the political atmosphere like right now? So does China still attempt to claim Taiwan as like their sovereignty or whatever,
No, I
or
don't think
they don't
so.
anymore?
I don't
Okay,
think
I know that
so.
was like I haven't been following it, but yeah. So I know Taiwan is obviously not a part of mainland China, but
Right.
um, it's right off the coast,
Yeah, they're real
and
close.
there's a lot of communication, both
There's a
from
lot of
by
travel back and
sea,
forth.
by
Yeah.
air. Yeah, like it's scary. I'd be really freaked out if I was like Japan or something. Like, dude, think about how dense China is. How many you have like 1.7 billion people in China or something like that? 1.4, 1.5. There's over a billion people in China. Japan has some of the densest cities on
Yep.
Earth. Like you just think about going to Tokyo, one of the most populous cities on the planet, one of the most densely populated as well, beside Mexico City and a few others. It is just going to be a crapshoot if anything gets into Japan that's serious. And that's why I think Japan is taking it seriously, is because they
Yeah.
know that if it gets off the mainland and it gets to an island like Japan, it's isolated, but it's going to thrive because there's so many people there. That's scary crap, you
I,
know?
that's yeah. So I'm like, so I know Paul already bought his tickets, but
Hmm.
he made sure to buy refundable tickets. So I was
That's
looking
smart.
into the possibility of just doing that instead because I'm like, let me hold off. I'll book in a month, and I have like a price alert set on the flight that I want, and it keeps coming down. Like the price keeps coming down to like a point where I'm like, maybe I should just buy this, but it's a non-refundable ticket, and I don't want
Yeah.
to be jammed up with that if I end up saying that it's not worth it for me to go.
Dude, honestly, the amount of money that you'll save buying now versus buying a few weeks out, in my experience, because I've flown to Europe a lot to see Lisa, I found tickets a week out that are cheaper than anything I found 3 months out. And
Yeah,
it's because they have to fill those seats. They know they don't fill the seats; it's just sunk costs. So they might
yeah.
as well discount them if they can. It's risky, sure, but even if you're only a month or so out and you're flexible on your dates, you can generally find decent prices. In my experience, obviously that doesn't hold
Yeah.
true for every airline and every location, but if I'm in Orlando, you're in Maryland, so what? You're DC, Baltimore, so you have decent airports to fly size wise to fly out of.
Yeah,
I
my
wouldn't
the
fret.
flights are looking at are one stops, so it's like
Yeah, that's good.
DC,
San
DC to San
Francisco.
Francisco,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
to Taiwan.
that's
So
not bad.
like, I mean, I've made that flight before. Like when we were in China earlier or last year. Like it's a terrible flight, but like
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm getting into at this point, and like I'll spring for the extra leg room, and I'll take an Ambien, and like, like try to zonk out for most of it. But
Yeah,
like,
have some
I'm just
Benadryl.
like I'm not like afraid of the flight. Like I know I'm perfectly willing to do it. It's just that at this point I'm like it's not worth it for me to make that commitment. And I've been talking to potential sponsors and saying the same thing. Like I'm interested, but hold. Like like I don't know. I don't want to accept anything right now without knowing what's going on. So
Yeah.
Brian says,
Yeah,
"Would
no,
you
that's at least
would you eat a burrito if you had the coronavirus?" If he's talking to me, uh,
you have nothing else to lose at that point,
well, it's
right?
not
Like
like I'm automatically dying. Like, like I don't know what one has to do with the other. Would you eat a burrito? Would you eat a breakfast burrito if you had the coronavirus? Would you just say, "Man, it's time. Maybe this will solve things."
My taste buds would have to be totally shot. Like I would have to be so sick and that I just wanted to get I'm the kind of guy who goes out and buys donuts from Krispy Kreme or Dunkin'. Like I'd much rather have that, like a sugary, carby meal for breakfast, than a greasy burrito at 9 a.m. Like that's gross. I don't want to have grease for breakfast. I've just never understood. Like, oh, let's cook eggs, bacon. Like, that's great for like lunch or even dinner because you
don't eat bacon.
Something else. Later.
You don't eat bacon.
I do eat bacon. Oh, of course I eat bacon. I just don't cook it for breakfast because I don't want to have the shits at 6 p.m. Like I
what?
can't.
You saying you don't eat bacon for breakfast?
No,
that is un-American, Florida man.
I would prefer not to.
Oh my god!
If it's high quality bacon, sure. But I mean, let's be honest. How much high quality bacon have you come across in your life? Not much. And
what a weird statement. I am mad at you right now. Bacon is so good.
Okay, mister, I have a gluten allergy. I
can't help that. I can't help it. Oh, this has gone off the rails. We are done here, Greg. I am angry now.
You're never going to ask me back.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Greg, asshole, for stopping by and being on stream with us. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe next time we'll take a few more questions. I apologize for not getting everybody's questions. I have been reading the chat, though, so thank you for participating. Greg, it's been real, bro.
Yeah, I'm surprised you even said that. I thought you were... I mean, we're making progress. This is rekindling.
We're working on our relationship. Yeah. All right, man. Brian, thanks for stopping in and checking out the stream and asking weird questions. We appreciate you. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Go watch Greg's channel. It's linked up above. All right, take care.
See you.